me feel like. It make you go and get some money. Get some money. Ooh, yeah.
That we'll have, besides going the other direction. I do that too.
Fame also brings bizarre allegations, like the lady who went to court accusing Beyonce of practicing extreme witchcraft.
Guys, hold your beer. We have some news that will send you straight to a shocking state. So, your favorite singer, Beyonce, is allegedly using witchcraft to maintain her superstardom. And fellow soul singer Erykah Badu appears to have confirmed just that. Badu is not the first person linking Queen Bey to black magic. Back in 2018, singer and dancer Kimberly Thompson sought a restraining order against the Formation singer after accusing the then 37-year-old star of launching a campaign of harassment against her. Court documents obtained by media houses, which were filed by the drummer, who had performed in an all-female band for the singer for 7 years, alleged Beyonce murdered her kitten and used extreme witchcraft, dark magic, and magic spells of Moleskin against her. Yeah, you heard that right. Kimberly also believes the Crazy in Love hitmaker, who has daughter Blue Ivy, then 6 years old, and the then 15-month-old twins Rumi and Sir with husband Jay-Z, had been tapping her phone and controlling her finances. Kimberly, who has also played with the 8G band on Late Night with Seth Meyers, previously told how she had to get Beyonce's approval before getting a mohawk hairstyle in order to fit the image the former Destiny's Child star wanted to project.
About any of you who are going to Beyonce's concert, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. How dare you call yourself a Christian?
And more recently, an American pastor also claimed that Queen Bey is a witch. Self-proclaimed prophetess Tiffany Montgomery, who founded the Covered by God ministry, shared a video on her TikTok and YouTube earlier this year in which she said, "Any of you who are going to Beyonce's concert, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. How dare you call yourself a Christian?" She continued, "I don't care what pastor you got who's okay with it. I don't care what pastor you got that thinks it's cool. I don't care what pastor you got that sings along to the songs because they want some clout." Tiffany, who is from North Carolina but preaches in various locations across the U.S., then went on to suggest that Beyonce is a witch, and fans of the singer are part of a coven. When a witch has a coven, it's normally a small thing. Witches' covens are normally 3 to 7 people, the pastor added. When it becomes thousands, it's called a hive. Y'all a part of that lady beehive. And you call yourself a Christian? May the dealings of the Lord come upon you, she concluded. And it's not just the Lemonade singer who has been singled out for relying on dark powers. Erykah Badu has also been accused of using witchcraft to bewitch mostly, get this, men. There's an urban legend that my pee changes men, Badu told Rolling Stone back in 2020. The men that I fall in love with and fall in love with me change jobs and lives.
A lot has been said about your bedroom, the mystical powers. You came out with
It's the urban legend.
The soul singer again addressed her so-called bedroom powers during a recent appearance on the Tamron Hall show. The subject was brought up after the host played a clip from Vogue's Objects of Affection series in which Badu gave an extensive tour of her home studio, aptly dubbed the Badudio. Hall said, "So that's a studio/bedroom, and I thought, of all the rooms that she would take us in, a lot has been said about your bedroom, the mystical powers. You are keenly aware of the urban legend that men can't look you in the eye without falling in love. Women too, and children and animals. Any living, breathing thing," Badu said before she was asked to describe her so-called powers. "I think it's indescribable. In the bedroom, that's not where you're going to find it because my magic doesn't lie between my thighs. It lies between my ears." Badu, who is currently single, has been romantically tied to music figures like Jay Electronica, Andre 3000, and Common. Common spoke about the Badu mythos during a 2014 sit-down with the Combat Jack show. "Yeah, the Badu box is real," the rapper confessed. "It can take you to another universe. But seriously, that's when you meet somebody that's really special and you're like, man, this woman got something else, man. It ain't just the S. It ain't just the looks. It's like something that's kind of like spirit-wise where you're like, this woman got something else." While Badu uses her dark magic on men, Beyonce allegedly uses hers on other singers. Bey and her husband Jay-Z have long been the subject of conspiracy theories and wild fantasies. The idea is that the two are members of the Illuminati and are secretly ushering a revolution, a new world order, brainwashing the public through music videos and dance routines. For several years, Jay-Z has, during his performances, made a hand signal that forms a triangle. This is supposedly meant to represent a diamond and has become synonymous with Jay and his record label. Occasionally, Beyonce will also flash a hand signal, likely in support of her husband. But the triangle shape is, for some, associated with the Eye of Providence, usually enclosed inside of a triangle or a pyramid. Said eye is connected to a wide range of belief systems, including the Freemasons and Illuminati, along with the many conspiracy theories that surround them. Recently, Pizzagate also became associated with the triangle shape. Thus, conspiracy theorists believe that Jay-Z's iconic hand signal is secretly signaling his devotion to the Illuminati. It doesn't help that Beyonce and her creative team use so much religious iconography in her performances and videos. Their playful depiction of Beyonce as a modern musical goddess ensures that conspiracy theorists will never, ever run out of material. By making wild associations between shapes, set pieces, and dance routines, conspiracy theorists can cook up some spectacularly strange narratives. But maybe, just maybe, there is some truth to the multiple Grammy-winning relying on dark magic. Queen Bey and Jay are well aware of the increasingly bizarre theories that surround them. The singer directly addresses them in Formation, her lyrics stating, "Y'all haters corny with that Illuminati mess." So how did Beyonce is secretly in the Illuminati become Beyonce is secretly Italian? Well, the source of the theory seems to stem from a single Instagram comment claiming that she is Italian and a whole bunch of other stuff. Beyond that, the imaginary Italian identity adds to the idea of Beyonce being descended from a powerful bloodline of Illuminati cultists, as well as theorists craving a new deception to uncover. But that's not all. When the singer released her 7th studio album, Renaissance, a lot of murmurs immediately followed up. Soon after, the several hidden messages in the album's various promotional images were proven correct, and to some, it meant the end days foretold in Revelation would soon come. A few years ago, social media followers insinuated that Beyonce was a member of the Illuminati. Now, the internet is adding an addendum. Queen Bey is not necessarily trying to run the world, she's just trying to tell us it's ending. It started with the horse imagery. The cover of Renaissance is a striking shot of a mostly nude, be-heeled Beyonce on top of a silver horse. The cover of July 2020 British Vogue was a striking shot of Beyonce riding a red one. Newsweek explains the rest. In July 2020, Beyonce sat atop a white horse in the Black is King movie, and in August 2022, she posed with a black horse for Harper's Bazaar. It's a simple enough equation. Beyonce, horses. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, one riding a white horse, one a red one a black one, and one a pale one. Pestilence, war, famine, and death. When they show up, it means our earthly world is over. One writer who analyzed Beyonce's career on the podcast Dissect said the singer's apocalypse era is a natural continuation of her Illuminati era. She's so good at what she does. She has so much influence and power. Everything she does is so exquisite, the writer explained. Don't understand how a person can get it right every time. In order to compensate for our own insecurities, we have to project. We say, it's impossible. There has to be some kind of magic associated with it or the Illuminati. But really, it's because she works really hard. She's really serious about her craft. She takes her time, and she surrounds herself with people that she trusts that are also very talented. So again, there are people who believe Beyonce is genuinely a hard worker and doesn't rely on exorcism to become more successful. But there are a number of female singers whose downfall is directly linked to Blue Ivy's mom. During the early 2000s, Beyonce was one artist among a slew of new R&B and pop divas who were all battling to become the next Janet Jackson, Celine Dion, or Whitney Houston. Among them were Aaliyah, Christina Milian, Brandy, and Britney Spears, to name a few. There was also R&B singer Ashanti, who may have actually been Beyonce's most formidable opponent. While Beyonce's career kicked off with Destiny's Child in the 90s, she and Ashanti actually debuted their solo efforts 1 year apart. Ashanti's debut came in 2002 with her hit single, Foolish, which spent 10 weeks at #1 on the charts per Billboard. Meanwhile, Beyonce's official debut was 2003's Crazy in Love, which held the #1 spot for 8 weeks and birthed her iconic Uh-Oh dance. Both singles preceded critically acclaimed and commercially successful albums. Ashanti's self-titled debut sold 502,000 copies in the first week alone, per the Los Angeles Times. Meanwhile, Beyonce's Dangerously in Love didn't quite match Ashanti's success, selling 317 17,000 copies in the first week, according to Billboard. And while Ashanti first held strong, Beyonce eventually eclipsed a threshold that few stars have managed to reach. With that said, the early days of both Beyonce and Ashanti's careers were marred by rumors of feuds. But was all of the talk surrounding them just speculation? Or did they actually have one of the biggest celeb feuds of the early 2000s? Comparisons between Beyonce and Ashanti ran rampant during the early days of their solo careers. One of the most public instances occurred back in 2003 when the New York Times published an opinion piece titled, "The Solo Beyonce, She's No Ashanti." The piece placed Ashanti's star power ahead of Beyonce's. In recent years, publications like HuffPost and Vox have periodically pointed back to it when discussing the irony of Beyonce's dominating presence within the music industry today. Fortunately, these comparisons never amounted to a personal feud between the stars, but low-key Ashanti fans believe Beyonce fought off competition using dubious means. "Every female artist, we all have something different to offer," said Beyonce while speaking to MTV News in 2003. "I love Monica's record. I like Ashanti's record. I respect all of those people. There's room for all of us." Ashanti, too, was of the same accord in 2017 when discussing her reaction to the infamous New York Times article. "I was just like, wow, it was super flattering," shared Ashanti per Entertainment Tonight. "What I didn't like so much is that the media has a way of pitting people against each other." She continued, "Beyonce and I had always had a very cool camaraderie. It was always like, 'Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Oh, I like your sneakers.'" She concluded her thoughts with, "I'm too happy with myself to just be an envious kind of a person." Unfortunately, for the fans of both artists, an official Beyonce and Ashanti collaboration doesn't exist. However, they did once perform together for an amazing cause. In 2008, Stand Up to Cancer, a charitable initiative that raises funds for cancer research and alternative therapies, brought together the biggest divas at the time for a special charity performance during Fashion Rocks. Of course, Beyonce and Ashanti were a part of it, as well as Rihanna, Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige, and many more. The Irish Examiner cited the performance as a way for the stars to put an end to feuding rumors. When you get two women making hot music, comparisons are going to be made and talk of feuds begins, shared Ashanti with the publication. "I admire what she does and don't have a problem with her. I've talked about making a record with other strong females. I'd love to do something with Mary." Beyonce further proved that there's no bad blood between the two performers when she featured Ashanti on her website to wish her a happy birthday in 2020. Long story short, everything is good between Beyonce and Ashanti. Beyonce and Kellis's relationship, however, is a whole other saga. In early August this past year, it was announced that Beyonce was in the process of removing the milkshake interpolation from Energy after Kellis's criticism. Rolling Stone reported that the La 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 vocals at the end of the song were removed from Apple Music and Tidal. The song no longer credits Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo on her website. The interpolation has also been removed from the song's YouTube lyric video, but still appears on certain streaming versions. Why? Queen Bey and Kellis are seriously beefing. Beyonce's studio album was breaking the internet in more ways than one. Though some artists the singer decided to sample or pay homage to on Renaissance expressed excitement, Robin S. said she was going to bask in the moment when her song Show Me Love was interpolated on the lead single, Break My Soul. Not everyone was happy about being included. Kellis, known for hits like Bossy, publicly criticized Beyonce for not receiving a heads up that her 2003 song Milkshake was being used on the Renaissance cut Energy. But the issue was larger than just the one track. Kellis also criticized the Neptunes' Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo, whom she worked with on her first album, for not crediting her to begin with on the original song, and then, almost 20 years later, using it without even telling her. It all started when a Kellis fan page on Instagram posted that Beyonce would be sampling a Kellis song, thus breaking the news to Kellis herself. The R&B singer soon commented on the post, expressing her disbelief. "My mind is blown too because the level of disrespect and utter ignorance of all three parties involved is astounding. I heard about this the same way everyone else did. Nothing is ever as it seems. Some of the people in this business have no soul or integrity, and they have everyone fooled." Kellis then released 2 videos on Instagram accusing Beyonce, Pharrell, and Hugo of not notifying her of her song being interpolated for the track. The singer called Pharrell petty and said that he does this all the time in order to spite her. "I have the right to be frustrated," she said. "Why? because no one had the human decency to call and go, "Hey, we'd like to use your record. The reason I'm annoyed is because I know it was on purpose." She also claimed Farrell swindled her out of her older music. In a follow-up post, Kellis said that all this female empowerment stuff only counts if you really do it, if you're really living it and walking the walk. And then noted the hypocrisy when it comes to Farrell and music ownership, citing a Variety interview where he championed artist rights and ownership of their work. "He has writing credits on my records, all my singles coincidentally, and he never wrote a song and lyric a day in his life," she said, adding that Chad is really an amoeba. He's spineless. It's a miracle he can keep his neck up. This was not the first time Kellis complained about Neptune's treatment of her. In 2020, she revealed to The Guardian that she allegedly did not make any money from the sales of her first 2 albums, which were produced by the duo. When talking about her agreement with the duo, Kellis told the British outlet, "Their argument is, well, you signed it." I'm like, yeah, I signed what I was told, and I was too young and too stupid to double check it. To this day, Beyonce and Kellis still don't see eye to eye, but Beyonce's biggest beef to this day has to be the one with Keri Hilson. R&B singer Keri Hilson has had a long-standing feud with Beyonce that lasted almost a decade. For those who don't remember, this quarrel between the two began when Keri threw shade at the Halo singer's 2009 song, "Turnin' Me On." She added fuel to the fire in 2011 when she refused to pose in an issue of Juicy magazine as it featured Beyonce and Jay-Z on the cover. In a recent conversation with radio host Persia Nicole, Keri Hilson spoke about her decade-long feud with Beyonce ending. When asked if she would like to collaborate with the Single Ladies singer, Keri said, "Yeah, sure, absolutely." Adding further, Keri said, "She actually has introduced herself. It was a gracious moment. I appreciated it." Keri Hilson continued, "I feel like she understood what had happened, what had transpired, and there was a bit of healing in that moment when we met. I take her as a very intuitive kind of soul, as am I." She added, "Yeah, it would probably be a very fun experience to do that if she were open. I do feel like she understood what that was all about. She's amazing. I've always felt that way. That's the truth of the matter, but no one will believe that." Talking further, the R&B singer said, "Whether it is working together or not, we can see each other, we can understand and nod, and we can understand and nod and have mutual respect now. I think at the very minimum there can be that. That's always possible, and that's where I'm at. I made a decision that was not authentic to who I truly am, and of course, I regret it. Of course." The truth is, Keri has never been the same since she picked up the feud with Beyonce. The singer has also been accused of ruining the careers of Keisha Cole, Ciara, and Joseline Hernandez. Netizens seem to agree with one posting, "Why Keri Hilson ain't hold the magazine up, Beyonce definitely K-ed that lady career." So there you have the whole new dark side of Beyonce you probably didn't know about. And that's it from us today. Until next time, thank you for watching.